We need to talk. I'm just kidding. Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and welcome to the channel update. I mentioned this last week in my community tab that I have some very good news to share. Well, it's very good news for me, which if you are supportive of myself, my mental health, and my family's well-being, then you will be happy as well. Not so great about the channel. Well, I won't say not so great. We'll get into it. Don't freak out. It's nothing bad. The good news, the awesome news that I have to share with you is that as of Saturday, when the contract got signed, I'm officially the influencer relations for the game publisher Hooded Horse, which is publishing Falling Frontier, Terra Invicta and Alliance of the Sacred Sons. I should probably be able to say that without pausing, considering I'm in charge of several things now. Basically, influencer relations is my official title. You may know it as an influencer manager or content creator manager, whatever it is. Essentially, I will handle all interactions with content creators, be it YouTubers or streamers. I don't deal with press, which works for me. I will create campaigns centered around getting early access to creators to create content, either for pre-release news, for already released games, etc., etc. Everything will go through me. I will hand out the keys. I will develop metrics for all of that stuff. I will be creating databases of streamers and YouTubers. Like I said, interacting with them, developing the Discord for Hooded Horse, things of that nature. Everything related and centered around those types of people is now officially my job. It's an incredible opportunity that kind of just fell into my lap, and I'm kind of thankful it did. I've always wanted to be in the games industry, like actually in it, not as a content creator coming into it from that angle. What I wanted to do ideally was to create content for developers and publishers, like, you know, the sponsored Paradox videos that I did for Crusader Kings 3, things of that nature, but working as a contractor making content for them. This is kind of the same way. I am under a contractor status. I'm not an actual employee, but rather I am now focusing on the creators themselves. So I am essentially the person that I used to hit up, or that I will continue to hit up for access to games, for things of that nature. It's kind of the reason why I got this job, is because I have the skills to communicate with those types of people. Yeah. Those types of people, as well as just a good idea of networking, of how to track metrics, of just all the interactions in relation to that, because that is me and has been for the last, 6 years. And another big thing is I will kind of do some other things to get Hooded Horse up to speed regarding that interaction. They've done a good job so far, but my job is to make it even better. So updating things to make Hooded Horse look a little more official, reach out to people via emails, via DMs on Twitter, DMs on Discord, things of that nature. The best part about this is that it's actually part-time. I'm only working 20 hours a week right now. Imagine that will get greater and greater as my job gets deeper and deeper, but they're very flexible. And this is awesome because it allows me to still do the things that I need to do with my main contracting job, while also still focusing on content creation. They actually, Hooded Horse themselves, said that, hey, we still want you to cover these games on your channel as a content creator, and we want you to be critical of these games like you are with other games as a content creator. They don't see a conflict of interest there, which is really great. They actually encouraged me to continue in my job as a creator because it would allow me to do my job more effectively and figure out people to reach out to. So it's a great opportunity that I'm glad I have, and I'm glad that I have accepted. Now, this does have effects for the channel. Primarily in the fact that across Twitch and across YouTube, there will be less content. YouTube and Twitch are naturally the least in monetary value. They produce the least amount of money to support my family with, so naturally they have to get cut. The condition that Mrs. Havoc set with me taking on this job is not that I would take this job on and tack it on top of the hours that I already work, which is somewhere in the ballpark of 60 to 70 hours a week. She said, no, if you want to do that, you can still do 60 plus hours a week, but 20 of those hours has to be in that 60. So naturally, I have to cut out the things that are least productive for me in supporting my family. Naturally, that's just Twitch and YouTube. So on Twitch, it'll mean no more Friday streams. It will also mean shorter streams on Mondays and Wednesdays, probably around 2 to 3 hours instead of 3 to 4 plus hours. That's just the nature of everything that's going on right now. And on YouTube, it will mean just cutting out a lot of content. I will no longer be putting up stream exports onto the channel. They aren't worth the investment. The views are not there. The engagement's not there. The only positive of these stream exports was an extended length of view duration, but it's almost like I'm putting up those Twitch exports just to boost my view duration. And that's kind of giving a false narrative of the channel as a whole. So those will get cut out. They haven't been on the channel for a while in the last couple of weeks anyways, as I was wrestling with this job. So they were a cool idea. I enjoyed them when I did them, but it just got to be too tedious and a bit too much. That also means no more Let's Play campaigns. We just wrapped up the Waterworld campaign for Humankind. I had a whole list, well, I erased it over the weekend, but I had a whole list of different campaigns and Let's Plays to do. Those were not worth the investment either, which was a little bit disappointing, but I kind of think fate had its hand in that to really say, hey, focus on the things that are productive for you, which is clearly not the campaigns. So there will be 3 primary types of videos going forward. They will be less frequent. You will see less content. Sorry, that's just kind of how it has to go. The 3 main forms of content are reviews for strategy games. Those will remain. I will actually probably be able to do more of them now that I'm not so focused on creating other things and focusing on all that other stuff. Opinion pieces, so kind of journalistic editorial pieces, things like I do want to cover Knights of Honor 2 as a video overall. I would probably still do the dev diaries. I still have to kind of work on that idea, but just opinion pieces. I did a games as a service vote last week. That's still relevant. I'm still working on that. There's some company things between different game developers and game publishers across the industry that I want to cover in various ways, which Hooded Horse is completely okay with, which is awesome as well. They don't see any issues there. So those are the 2 primary types. And then the third guaranteed is Victoria 3 Developer Diaries. Now, Victoria 3 Developer Diaries don't do well. They don't. One Proud Bavarian, and Lambert cover most of that. They get the most views, I think, from all of it. But for me, it's a passion project. And I really, really, really am enjoying Victoria 3 thus far from the developer diary standpoint. I don't have access, but it also allows me to win. And if mainly I get that early access, I will know the game. I will know it inside and out because I've covered the developer diaries. I've covered the progression. And so if I want to make a review, or if I want to push sponsored content, or I want to push guides, which probably will be sprinkled in throughout the channel, I have that knowledge already in there because I've covered all the developer diaries. Victoria 3 is looking fantastic, and I am not going to let it go because I'm super excited about that game. So those are the 3 main types of content that you'll see continuing on the channel. It's basically last year, before Crusader Kings 3, or even after, whenever I stopped doing the guides. So if you've been here for a while, it'll go back to an old way. But it's also not forever. Ideally, my workflow will get better. Campaigns will come and go. I'll have some free time, some extra time. If I end up doing well enough with this job, I'll quit my old job, which will free up time. That's a long ways away. But just know that this isn't like a permanent choice. The channel is ever evolving. It always will be. It always has been. So this isn't guaranteed. If you don't agree with it, that's just how it has to be. So that's kind of the overall goal of the channel, the channels from here on out. But there's a little more to it. Regarding the 2 franchises that have always been a primary on the channel, Humankind was getting there. But I pretty much always covered, especially the last couple of years or so, Paradox and Creative Assembly's Total War franchise. Regarding those 2, they were my biggest potential issues regarding early access, because I'm working for another publisher that could potentially create some issues. So I was very forward with both companies. I said, hey, with my contacts within both companies, I said, hey, this is the situation. I don't want you to find out via an announcement on Twitter or someone from the company saying, hey, did you know about this guy? I wanted to be honest and straightforward and saying, hey, this is my new position. What are your thoughts? How does this work and operate? With Total War, unfortunately, but understandably, I was not shocked with this. I have, and well, once I make the announcement and everything goes through, I will be officially dropped out of the partner program. No more super early access to events, no more pre-access to blogs or content, anything of that nature, which is a bit of a bummer again, but totally expected it. What it does do is it knocks me down to the verified level, which then creates the problem. There are about 50-ish content partners within the partner program for Total War. There are a couple hundred verified people in the verified channel. So with that in mind, not getting super early access and then being in a group where there are then, 200 plus people all creating content all at the same time, Total War content, anything new especially, just won't happen. It's not worth my time. It's not worth my investment. So I'm not going to cover it. If there are opportunities where Josh from the influencer program says, hey, hey, we're doing an event, we'd like you to be in it, even though you're not a content partner because we like your stuff, then I'll do that. But as a verified, it's just not worth it to cover Total War news. I may start getting back into mods if I have the time for that, but regarding Total War content, it's not going to be there. It's just not. As I mentioned, I said the same thing to Paradox, and they basically just inquired more about the company. Hooded Horse is a small company. We are 4 to 5 people. They are based out of Dallas, Texas. They don't want to be a AAA publisher. They want to focus on indie games within the strategy genre. With all that information, Paradox is cool with it. I mean, they see no issues with that as a whole. So regarding early access, or potential early access rather, I think I'm still kosher with Paradox. I think they see the potential of what I can do, of what I have done. The relationship that I've built with them has clearly been positive because they don't see it as an issue and they still want to work with me. And it's not that Creative Assembly doesn't want to work with me, but it just kind of seems like Paradox is more willing to, which I am thankful for, because honestly, between the two, I haven't been completely satisfied with the Total War franchise lately, but I have been satisfied with Paradox. They've done a lot of good stuff for my channel, working with me, and I was way more nervous about Paradox's response than Total War's, which says a lot about my views on the company and their response as a company. So to wrap this up real quick, I've been rambling for far too long. It is unfortunate that I have to scale back. That push for a few months was seeing some positive changes and all that thing, but it's obviously just the best regarding supporting my family. You guys consistently have always been supportive of me taking mental breaks, of me prioritizing my family and doing things that keeps them alive and well. This is that choice. I have to sacrifice my channel, which is unfortunate, but again, it made the least amount of money for me and was probably the most time intensive as an investment. So from a return on investment, just wasn't there. That's not to say it won't improve in the future, but this is what I have to do now. And I know you will be supportive of me as well. Guys, thank you so much for that support. Your support throughout these years have actually been instrumental in the reason why I got this job. If I didn't have that support, I wouldn't have developed the channel the way I have. I would not have been able to make connections like I have and do all the things that gave me the skills and experience to take on this influencer relations job. So it's actually because of you that I'm here. So I blame you. I'm just kidding. I don't blame you at all. I actually thank you a whole lot. And I hope that you'll stick around, because it doesn't mean the channel's dead. It's not dying. I'm not leaving it. I'm not abandoning it. It's just taking a little bit of a step back for a while. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you in advance for all the congrats that I hope will be there. And look forward to more stuff in the future. This channel is going to stay here. So I hope you will stick around too. That's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for hanging around. Bye.